Hey everybody, I just want to take this time to, this is normally the week that I do my week of celebration, and I'm still celebrating, I just didn't post anything. But I want to take this opportunity to celebrate a group of people who to me have really made a difference in the year of 2020. And that group of individuals are our youth and young adults. I look at them first off because their entire world changed come March of this year. So school changed, so all those that were in school, and we're talking from preschool, daycare, all the way up to college level, everything shifted in March. They went from seeing their classmates all the time to now barely seeing them at all, not being able to gather, go to parties, have homecoming, I'm not homecoming this year, but prom last year, football games, basketball games, track, all the sports activities, and even worse for our graduating seniors, whether we're talking, middle school, elementary to middle school, high school to college and beyond. They didn't get to graduate. They didn't have an actual graduation service or ceremony like they normally would. I feel for them. I wish it was something that we all could have done to give them that opportunity to walk across that stage, because I know that when you're going to college, those 4 years plus years, however long, 2 years, whatever it is you've taken to get your degree, that's the reward, is walking across that stage with getting your degree and celebrating. Same thing with those coming from high school. The celebration of that is walking across that stage, having your graduation parties, all that stuff. It's like the cherry on the icing on the whipped cream on your sundae. The scenario, the thing. But here nor there. I want to celebrate them because they took it like a champ. They took it. Mike Tyson has that saying that everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth. Well, they got punched in the mouth, and they still recuperated. They still were able to continue on. The school year, it was adjustment for the students as well as it was for the teachers, because they hadn't prepared online or Zoom type curriculums. But they were able to adjust, get some things together, and be able to progress in the education of our kids. And our kids were able to receive it. Yeah, it was completely different because you didn't have the classroom environment. You didn't have all your friends around you. All those things that you normally have, all that stuff was taken away. So once again, I want to celebrate you. I want to say that I am proud of you all for taking it and continuing to progress. I also want to celebrate this school year, because this school year started off rocky. Some schools opened up, some schools still stayed online. I know for my daughter, they did an alternating thing. So instead of everybody going to school or everybody online, they alternated and broke up the school so that half the school went one day or 1 week, and then the other half of the school went another week. So they had basically a week on and week off, and then online from there. But once again, this being her senior year, she's been able to make the adjustment because she did go through it last year. And, this generation is different than my generation or even generations before, is because they grew up with this technology. So for them to get on Zoom meetings, it's just like them kind of doing FaceTime with a bunch of people. Now it's formally for school. So they're used to this. They've been doing online stuff for classes. Their books and stuff have been online. Ours, we have paper books. A lot of their books and assignments have been turned in online. And that was once again, even prior to the COVID pandemic. So they've been able to more easily adjust to that. Now, the thing that they are lacking that I wish they could get back together is them getting back together, because they missed that social piece of school. They're not able to just hang out with all their schools. I know for my daughter, some of her friends go the opposite week that she goes. So she doesn't get to see them unless they do a FaceTime or there is some event that they may get together for, mask and the whole thing. But that's very few and far between. So that's the other aspect of this year that has still, once again, adjusted, or they've had to adjust to. So I want to celebrate our youth and young adults for the schooling, the adjustment to the schooling with the pandemic. But on top of that, I also want to celebrate them because during this time, they were still doing the protests. So for, when George Floyd got murdered, and then all the protests happened, the young adults were hardcore into that. I mean, I would see on the news and everything, they were very strong. Yeah, we had our staples that were out there leading the fight, but they were surrounded by a lot of young people. And those young people are going to be the ones that make the changes happen that we need for this country to kind of get back on an even playing field, or get on an even playing field, not back, because it's never been that way, but to get on an even playing field where everybody matters. Everything counts. That one group of people, no matter your income, no matter your background, no matter the color of your skin, no matter the race, no matter your gender, none of those things will matter going forward, because this generation, just like technology, grew up with that understanding that they didn't have all the divisiveness that we had growing up and that our parents had growing up. So the segregation was already out the door when they started. So they went to schools that were mixed. So that's all they knew. They went to schools with kids of different religions. That's all they knew. So all this stuff that we're dealing with, that we're trying to get adjusted, or we're trying to get into the heads of our politicians, is that this is the way things need to be. We need to stop worrying about and stop judging people on the way they look, the way they talk, where they live, their economic status. None of that stuff matters. So with this new generation, once again, their protesting has really encouraged me, because I do feel that is going to be, or this generation coming up, the young adult generation and the youth generation that's coming up after them, that's going to be the generations that are going to go in and move this country forward. We do have to get the old heads out of office, but this new generation understands the way the melting pot that is America is supposed to work. So they have a better idea, a better feel, and a better mindset as to what needs to happen within this country. So I'm encouraged by them. I am celebrating them as well. So like I said, I am celebrating. If I'm picking any heroes for the year of 2020, my heroes are the youth and young adult of this country, because they've been through some crap this year and they've come out wonderfully. They're coming out and they're looking at things differently. They're figuring out how to make things work so that they can still achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Like I said, I look at my daughter and there's things that she wanted to do that she wasn't able to do, but now she's figuring out other ways to get the same type of result. So I am very, very, very encouraged by this generation. So once again, my heroes for the year of 2020 are the youth and young adults, for everything you've done educational wise and everything you've done for social justice wise. I know it's not over. We cannot get comfortable, because we just had another incident, a week ago up in Columbus, where another unarmed man was killed by the police. No justification for it. Breonna Taylor still hasn't been resolved. You can't murder somebody and nobody pay the consequences. That's a whole nother discussion, but I digress. But I am still encouraged. I appreciate you guys. I love you all. And 2021, it doesn't know what's in store for it, because these young adults and these youth are hungry. And going into 2021, because they've been through 2020, there's nothing you can put in front of them that they're not going to be able to adjust to. So I truly, truly look forward to what's next, what's moving forward in 2021. But once again, my salute to the youth and young adults of 2020 in the United States. Love you all, and let's press forward. Ready, set, go.